Hey guys, this is me speaking. Who's me? I don't know who me is. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about Gotham City Imposters. I have not seen that many videos of this game out there, and I really thought it was a shame. This is one of the greatest games I've ever played. And it's kind of harsh to see so many other montages of, I'm not going to lie, worse games. And no one's out there making awesome videos of this. So this will be kind of my encouragement to you guys for you to pick up this game. It's free to play currently for those who only remember the $25 price tag. And I just wanted to go through a couple of reasons why this game is, well, has my recommendation. But first things first, I wanted to go through, if you pick this up, how is it different? For starters, Game for Windows Live is completely gone. If you purchase this game, you will know that Game for Windows Live used to be the DRM. No one likes Game for Windows Live. I don't know anyone outside the Microsoft team that actually likes it as a DRM program. It's clunky and unnecessary, so I'm glad Monolith recognized this and said we're going to Steamworks. There's Steam achievements, the account name changes with your Steam name, which I love, and it's just been better for it. There's been more people playing now, and I love it. There's also been a change to the characters, and by that I mean, if you originally had a character in your original Gotham City, you will notice that it's gone. But with that, I also want to say, it's still there, but it's in your, there's two versions now. This is the free-to-play version, but there's also your original pay-to-play, except I don't know if anyone is playing that anymore, like literally anyone. I tried it, I couldn't get a match at all, and I literally alt-tabbed for about 12 minutes and I couldn't get in the game. If you can find anyone playing, please tell me, I'd love to know, but I haven't found anyone. They're all in free-to-play at the moment, and, you know, I would complain about how I lost everything from my sniper rifle and my mod, but the ability to go back and just being forced to try all these weapons is kind of a good thing as well. It means that I've got the chance to try these weapons I didn't even have a look at, like the Chaperone. I never really tried that shotgun because I am afraid of weapons that have quite a low damage output, but the firing rate really does make up for it. So, you know, I'm glad, because I would never have tried this weapon out otherwise. Oh yes, and by the way, if you're afraid that you've basically lost the reason that you paid $25, they do reimburse you with all your DLC you bought beforehand. So if you bought the Pirate Pack, you will get that back. And they also give you bonus DLC, which gives you access to weapons. But the funny thing is, they don't give you any form of like recognition that you purchased the game outside of the DLC, which anyone can buy. So I can't help feel that, you know, we're not really being. I'm not saying we should be recognized, that we should stand out and going, hey, we're premium players. But it kind of feels weird. It feels very, you know, like they don't care we tried the game, we were supporting it from the start. Which I think most companies should do, because, you know, it makes us feel like, hey, we invested something. You like to know that if you try something out and you risk $25, that you're going to see something back for it. So I kind of feel that's a bit weird, that they didn't introduce like a saying I pre-purchased this game and stuff, recognize me. I don't know, that's just me. I can't really say anything outside of that. More people are playing now, I think I've already said that, but I'm going to say it again because it's awesome to finally have 3-bar ping games. And with that, I'm going to have a pre-boot warning. So if you're thinking of picking up this game, great, do it. But when you run the game for the first time, it will ask you for connection settings. When you do that, make sure you set it to the absolute lowest you can. I think that's 256, I'm not sure, I can't remember. But do it, because what the game will do is it will automatically kick you depending on your ping. So if you join a game that has 2-bar ping and you set yours to say, well, I get an average of 3 megabits per second, I don't know. Then what the game will do is if you get under that, it will automatically kick you, which is a problem, I find, because not everyone is a dependable host. Please get servers, please, but at the time, we're currently using hosts. So you need to set it in case you get a particularly not so good host. If you don't like the host, just leave. There are plenty of you know, matches out there at the time. There's no reason you can't just join another match. At the time, you're depending on hosts at the moment. It's really a shame. I really hope Monolith Studios continues to make this better and actually introduces servers. It's really needed to make this game perfect. That's all it needs. But at the current time, it's depending on player hosting, and yeah. So just make sure you set it to the lowest when you run this game so you don't get constantly kicked like I did. You know, it almost made me not play this game again, and fortunately I didn't, and I fixed it because otherwise I would have missed this. I don't know, there's something about character customization in this game that's just so perfect. If you haven't played this game, you wouldn't be able to recognize that most of the combination of weapons in this game is pretty much perfect. There is no reason you shouldn't go, say, a light guy using a heavy weapon. So imagine in Team Fortress 2, if a scout was able to use a heavy weapon, you'd think it'd be completely overpowered or just weird. In this game, there's no reason not to. You have the option. Do you want to do it? Sure. There is a reason for it. You can do it. I went for a heavy medic. So that's a heavy body class that goes really slow but has a lot of health, but can heal people. You might think, well, isn't that a bit weird? Like, what happens if you have to heal, speedy people? But that's not the reason I went that class. The reason I went for the heavy body type is to absorb damage, because I found that playing medics, I usually get targeted first. Because people are smart, they realize, well, kill the medic, it's easy to kill the other guy. So if you're a heavy class, you can easily take a bit of damage, and you can keep people alive too. So it's kind of like, well, win. You can keep people alive, and you can stay alive, and you can get the points and recognition. I don't see why you wouldn't. You can also go light medic if you want to get out of situations quicker. There's no two combination of weapons that are overpowered either. I've never found it. Rocket launchers take a while to reload, unless you go for the quick reloading ones, which aren't as powerful. It's completely up to how do you play best. So do you prefer to hide in the shadows? There's a gadget that actually makes you turn completely invisible. People used to think that was overpowered, but I never thought like that. It basically means you can't use any weapons, but you can run around for an endless amount of time without being seen. Is that overpowered? It might be, but I always found that really the only classes that use it are the speedy types with the swords, and by the time they got to you and they tried to stab you once, they're small and they don't do much damage, so you can turn around as a heavy body class and pretty much just kill them. So why is it overpowered? I don't understand why people complain about it. I think it's okay. I don't use it myself. I prefer to use the shotgun and the assault rifle. That's more my preference. But it's a viable option because there are ways to counter it, and they've got their own advantages and disadvantages, and that's what a good character customization can do. It means that every option has its weaknesses and its reasons for using it, and Gotham City Imposters pulls that off perfectly. I really can't think. If you could think of a combination, then tell me, but I can't think of a combination that really deems itself to be too strong. I really can't think of much else. I might give a warning though. If you plan on playing as a medic in this game, be warned, it's not the best class. I did say they have perfect customization, but not every game can be perfect. The medic weapon is not that great. If you don't know what the medic weapon is, it's a microphone that heals people, and it also gives them a buff. Now I say buff with inverted commas because it's not really a buff. It's like a 1 second plus 10 HP bonus, I'd call it, I guess. It's not the greatest. You could try and use it. I tried to use it, but I find that after 1 second, why would you want to use that anymore? It's in Team Fortress 2, for example, when you use the medic gun, you gave about 25 extra health. I think that's the scout. It lasted for well about 3 seconds, and it decreases over time. It doesn't just suddenly disappear. In Gotham City Imposters, the buff really only lasts for about a second, and it disappears quite quickly. It's not even noticeable how much health they get extra. So my question is, well, why would you want to use it then? There are plenty of health packs lying around the level. There's no reason you need medics. It's not as if there's only because in Team Fortress 2 there was really only one cabinet where you could get all your ammo and health back, but Gotham City Imposters, they're literally everywhere. So why would you need a medic running around if they can't provide any advantages? So that really needs to be fixed. They really need to give, like, maybe an attack buff. It doesn't have to be health. It can be maybe an attack buff, a defense buff. It just seems like it's adding on to pointlessness. Now, a couple of these clips are going to show the reason why you need to put down the connection speed, because I constantly got kicked from about 4 games before I fixed the dilemma. It is a problem, and it really needs to be fixed on 11, because a lot of new players will just get frustrated. I mean, I had the patience to go through and find how to fix the problem, but you really need to address it. You really need to come out and just say, look, sorry guys, we're just going to alter a couple of files, we're going to make the metagun good, and we're going to finally make it so you don't get auto-kicked. It's just, and we're going to introduce servers. Please say that. Please come out and say we're going to introduce servers. It's the one way to keep your game alive. I mean, I wonder how good games like Team Fortress 2 would go if they didn't have servers. I mean, it might have lasted quite well still, but I don't know if it would last as long as it has already. Games last because of what they get. And the problem without servers is that, well, it feels like it's only alive as long as people are playing. The thing about servers is that you can customize it the way you want, and you can also build it for yourself and your friends. It's a great way to get people to come to your game and go, well, you know, maybe I might want to try this out. Clans have their own servers so that they can introduce games to their own, you know, their own teammates and stuff, and that's how the game spreads. I really hate player hosting. Games like Call of Duty, I don't understand why you need to do this. Halo, Call of Duty, why do you need player hosting? It's never been a good thing. It's just it's laziness. I don't even know why. Like, is dedicated server technology really that hard? I don't understand why you'd bother implementing player hosting. It's okay for countries that don't really have that option. You know, small countries where people are playing and they don't have the option to host dedicated servers. But even then, don't make it make it an option, but don't make it the option. Give us servers. Jeez, we need servers. How long have I got left? 2 minutes. Okay. Anything else I can cover? Not really. This is very impromptu what I'm doing because I really want to get this out because this game is so good. There are quite a few problems that are keeping people away from it. It's a great game, and I really want it to shine because it hasn't been marketed well. Not many people know what it is. Everyone went Batman, first-person shooter, this won't end well, and quite frankly, that's how I went. But then I tried the game out and it was amazing. I love it. But just Game for Windows Live really destroyed it as well. It's really what kind of made it go down. I just really don't like Game for Windows Live. It's never been a friend of mine. It just means that I have to be online, I have to have the latest Windows 7 program. It's just, crap, no one wants that. No one wants to be forced to do stuff before they can play the game. It's never been... Steam isn't really... is probably one of the best DIMs out there. I mean, they've been known to... I mean, I love Steam sales, I love all these kind of things they offer. But is DRM really necessary? Oh, crap. If I go on about DRM, I'm going to be here for ages. I'm just going to make a quick summary, guys. Pick up this game. It's free to play. There is no reason not to. If you've already purchased the game, pick up the free-to-play version anyway. You'll get rewarded. You won't get recognized, but you will be rewarded for purchasing the game beforehand. And that's it from me. Thank you for watching this video. I'll catch you all later.